Coleman's Independent Radio. WRJM-LP, Coleman.
Time now for, as I said a moment ago, the elephant in the room. Oh, be quiet, elephant.
Greetings and saturations. You knew it was coming, didn't you, Richard? You knew it.
I knew something was coming. I wasn't aware of that one.
You never are you?
No,
Good afternoon, everyone.
We have, who are you?
Gracious, that's a lot of elephants.
Yep.
Watch it now.
We have Miss Beverly.
Hey.
We have Dr. Morris.
Well, hello.
And we have someone you haven't seen before. Turn and look at me. That way they can get you on the camera up there. We heard we were going to have bad weather, and as you learned last week, if you're one of our two devoted admirers,
Yeah.
we found ourselves a meteorologist. So y'all just sit still. A few minutes, she'll let you know where you are now. And if it comes before we get through, she'll try to figure out where you are when you stop. I'm Howard Rogers. Good to have you with us. It's a pleasure.
Well, we've had a lot going on lately, haven't
Yes, we have. Coleman is a nice little town, but not nearly like the one just south of us.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Hansville. Yeah, it's becoming a metropolitan area, isn't it?
Yeah, if you think a trailer truck load of busted eggs is bad, you haven't been to Hansville.
It's making news everywhere, national, world news.
Yeah, I
I
saw it on national news.
Yep.
I had, an in-law called from Kentucky to tell us that it was on the local stations up there in the Louisville area.
Yeah.
So it's nationwide. That's all I can say.
I bet my friend's dad is rolling over in his grave, Mr. Brown.
Well,
Used to be the mayor. I bet he is turning over in his grave.
I bet so.
Yeah, I wonder how many of the former officials down there
Would admit it.
are starting to get a little bit nervous or ill at ease anyway
A
about
little antsy about it. Yep.
Yeah, because it didn't start yesterday.
No.
And that's, how far back up did the branch start?
And how
that's
far
the
back are
point.
they going to go? Right.
Yeah. Before we do that, let's find out where we are right now with our weather.
Right now, with our weather, our current temperature currently at 73 degrees. It's looking pretty nice out there right now. The clouds have started to roll in for this upcoming severe weather that we're expecting. But it's been a beautiful day so far today. That humidity is going to start making a noticeable difference as our dew points rise for, again, this severe weather that we're expecting this weekend. And I'll tell you more about that later.
So we have some idea of what's going to happen, and it's not going to be good. Kind of like Hansville, it's not going to be good.
It was hailing down in Tuscaloosa earlier this morning.
The hail, you say?
Yeah, I did.
That was
in Hansville too.
that was a pretty good segue, Howard. I got to give you credit for that one.
Yeah.
What is there anything we can have as a type of expectation for what's going to happen in Hansville? They have no police department.
They have no police department, but they had a heated city council meeting the other night. And even though the grand jury recommended for the Hansville Police Department to be abolished, the council and the mayor said, no, we don't want it to be abolished. We just want to build it up again. So they're on the search for a new police chief.
It ain't me, babe.
Did they get the glue they needed to put that cement block back in that wall?
I heard they used the broom handle for kindling those.
But so the council and the mayor want to rebuild it, have their own police department. They've started a nationwide police chief search, and they're going to let that police chief hire the deputies, the dispatchers, and everyone and start it over.
You know, it's they're having a nationwide search for a police chief for a town that's got, what, 10, 12,000
No,
people?
it doesn't have 10,000. It has, what, 3,000? 2 to 3, somewhere in that range.
And you get minimum wage plus all the drugs you can steal.
Out of the property, right? Communal property, it sounds like.
Wow.
But it's kind of scary, really, that what are the expectations? And if you live in Huntsville and you have some idea what the expectations are for the police department of the future, 256-737-9505. We'd love to hear from you.
Well, and I've got a question. You know, we know there, what was it, 5 officers that were arrested? But how big was the department? 8?
I think there were 8.
What happens to those other people? The ones that
the ones that were there when it happened, but were not a part of the happenings.
Right, right. Because they're, you know,
but as we were talking earlier, sometimes it's guilt by association.
Right.
Well, yeah, they're tainted by the.
Yeah. Where did you last work? Huntsville.
Huntsville all the way.
Ooh.
I think I'd lie and hope they didn't check it.
Yeah. Well, this was interesting from the, and I'm reading from one of our local newspaper or news outlets. The Sheriff Gentry explained that if Coleman County Sheriff's Office would need to hire approximately 20 additional personnel, including dispatchers, in order to completely take over Huntsville, and he estimated the cost would be $1.7 million a year if they took it over.
But now, what are those other 12 officers going to do? Because they had 8 there before.
Well, it takes longer if you have to open the door with a key.
Okay.
Well, the majority of the residents did express their desire to keep a department. They want it to stay under the city's control rather than the county's control. But many people voiced their disagreement with the way Huntsville has been run, some arrests that have been questionable, and so I believe they're going to go back and check some of the arrests that have been made to see if there were some questionable charges, maybe.
Well, have you guys seen any of the videos that are on Facebook?
Try not to watch them.
Well, I don't mean those movies. I'm talking about several people that at one time had filed suit against the city.
And I think there's going to be a lot more that file.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
The evidence you used against me was corrupted. I mean,
Right.
nobody can say what was really going on in that evidence room. Nobody.
Right.
Well, where are the drugs that they took from me, that they found on me, or whatever they said they found?
So
If you don't have them, I'm not guilty.
I think our friend Champ Crocker may have his work cut out for him.
And you know they have video where people going in the evidence room and doing whatever. They audited it. But also, the district attorney wrote a letter that said there are 30 undocumented firearms that were discovered in the evidence room.
Really?
Undocumented.
So they weren't checked in; they were just laying there.
They were just laying in the evidence room.
And that list of things that Champ said were missing.
Right.
Only had one 25 caliber handgun listed.
That had been checked in. That was missing.
Well, now I wonder, is that what they used if they ran low on money? Grab a gun out of the evidence room, go sell it, and go buy groceries and go home?
No, I don't think so. But
here,
I'm sure they used that 25 caliber one like it as a throwdown.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a good use for it. About the only good use for it.
Yeah, it
and
was about it.
Another way that Huntsville has made headlines, and not in a good way, that Huntsville has the highest per capita rate of drug overdoses in the state.
I saw that. That's
Is that not
amazing.
insane for a few thousand people?
Right.
The highest
per
in the
capita,
state. Yep.
Per capita.
So where are you going to school this fall? Well, it won't be Wallace.
It won't be around Huntsville.
Well, I was going to say, if you remember the reporting on that, the police chief decided not to go after the known drug dealer because he wanted to keep his numbers up. So, had he made a different decision, they may not have that distinguished record. So,
that is one of the most insane things I've ever heard of. I want to arrest a lot of people, so I'm going to leave the person out there that's giving me those people to arrest.
Right.
Well, that's right up there with I want to pad my budget for the city next year, so when they cut the money, I'll have enough to do what I want to do.
I'll sell some guns.
But they found in the evidence room, I guess they didn't find. What they found was missing. They have meth, cocaine, oxycodone, Adderall, heroin, and, I mean, the list goes on and on of the drugs that were found, and some of them a large amount of drugs that were documented but weren't there when they did the audit.
Yeah, my druggist said that Hansville evidence room had more narcotics than he did.
There you go. Yeah. Yep.
So that list was only the ones that were missing, that they were documented to be missing.
So if you've got anything you'd like to add, positive maybe, or factual, let's go that way, positive or factual, we'd like to hear from you, 256-737-9505.
You know, in the past...
They're coming to take you away.
I hear the sirens.
In the past, I've always called that the Revenue Enhancement Department for that very thing about seeing how many tickets they can write and how much money they can collect.
So a couple other interesting tidbits. As I look out the studio window, I think we have rain coming down.
Okay.
We have hail coming down over, I believe, in Franklin County, about marble size.
Wow.
We'll let the meteorologist report on what's expected the rest of the day, but I mean, we might have some strong storms with some hail as the afternoon progresses. So if you have a nice fancy car, you might want to park it under something.
If it gets really close here, you let us know and we'll be out of here.
Richard, I found the partial answer to one of your questions that you had. It said that the members of the police force and the dispatchers that were not involved will be reevaluated and could possibly be rehired.
Let me go on record as saying it ain't going to happen.
Right.
If they're serious about cleaning house and rebuilding, it probably won't. But
they may not have killed them, but they know where the bodies are.
I still think those folks that were not involved directly may get the wrong end of the stick on this.
Yeah, it's sad. It really is. But I can't help but believe if there were only 8 people and 5 were involved, that the other 3 didn't at least have some idea what was going on.
Well, yeah.
They were just smart enough to stay out of it, or to
look
not
the
get
other
caught,
way,
right?
Or partner with somebody,
right?
Somebody else.
Yeah, they didn't want to end up the result of a drug overdose.
And all of this started because that dispatcher had a drug overdose last year.
Yeah, and that I still say no. Something going on before that.
Well, it made news at that point.
Yeah, that's what started the investigation.
Right.
Yeah, you don't just go car 54, where are you? And there you go. You don't do that.
Right.
No, I have never heard of that being part of the job description.
No.
256-737-9505 if you have some positive news or if you want to know where to go or what to do in a catastrophe or really bad weather. What would you suggest, Izzy?
Well, so that all depends on the types of severe weather. There are many different kinds of severe weather hazards. I'll go over the ones that will be impacting us the most this weekend. As already mentioned, there has been reports of hail today in certain areas of Alabama, and that risk is there for us as well up here in Coleman, so that's definitely something to be aware of. Today there is also a marginal risk for thunderstorms, and the word marginal can be confusing a lot of times.
Yes,
this means that the system that is going to be impacting us at this time is not as organized as, for example, what we're going to be seeing this weekend in the coming days.
She's making that sound ominous, isn't she?
Well, look, whenever all the meteorologists that are out there agree on something, the weather, I'm sorry, but I'm going to go.
I'm going to run.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with them on that.
Yeah.
My sweet wife has cleaned off the steps going to the basement.
That's a sign. There you go.
Good. Yes. So, again, back to your question, some of those strategies that you can use to mitigate the effects of these events are, so for hail, it would be to take shelter indoors somewhere, or at least get something solid over your head if you can't get inside. And that's essentially the only thing you can do for hail. Park your cars, try to protect your property as much as you can. It's not possible for some people, but the main thing is getting yourself to safety in those moments. And for tornadoes, the best thing that you can do is make it to a shelter. Make sure that you have a plan for you and your family, no matter where you're going to be.
If you're here or if you're in Atlanta.
Stick around, folks. We'll get another update at least once before we sign off the air.
Yeah.
Head for the hills.
So also making news has been government cuts.
Well, really? I don't know what could have caused that.
I don't either. Everybody's fired.
Yeah.
And the judge said, "You can't do that." He said, "Yes, I can. Watch me. I did."
Right.
Yeah, but then another judge said, "You absolutely can't do that." All of these temporaries, or not temporaries, but probations. Yeah, those folks have to be rehired.
It ain't gonna happen. And the Supreme Court's worried that Trump's just going to do what he wants to, regardless of what they say.
Well, that's a very large possibility.
What was it that judge said in, I think it was 1929? Okay, the Supreme Court has issued their ruling. Where are they going to get people to back it up?
Yeah, the executive branch.
They don't got no sheriff.
You're not going to get the state patrol to do
No, they're not going there.
But the government is supposed to shut down Friday unless...
hey, hallelujah, let's pray for that to happen.
Let's get everybody on board, though. But all those government workers will be, for sure, cut out then.
And we folks drawing Social Security won't get our entitlement.
Right.
Hey, Trump said he's cutting out me getting taxed on my Social Security that I was taxed on when I paid it into Social Security, and now I'm taking it out. I'm going to get taxed again on 80% of it.
That's right.
Wow.
So I believe the answer to your question is the Democrats will support the executive branch. They'll protest and force them to back down. Try to say this with a straight face, really.
Come in here and stand in front of the bulb.
I think I even heard that they all got together and sang like R&B tunes or something the other day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sure it had a huge impact.
Yes.
That or We Shall Overcome. One of the two.
Almost as much as 20 of them recording the same X video or TikTok video or something with the same. I don't know. The only thing missing was a break dance. So.
Almost had that.
Don't give them ideas, please.
Yeah, I can't see.
And so, did you listen to the president's speech?
Which one? There have been so many.
Well, the state of the nation, what we've done, unofficial State of the Union.
Yeah, we even carried that one here on the radio station, as well as the Democratic response.
Well, the Democratic response was to sit there and not clap for
that too.
The boy who had cancer that they made an honorary Secret Service member.
I think they all made a pact beforehand. And then,
yes.
When they were, experiencing that moment, they all probably looked at each other and whispered, "Shall we clap?"
Right.
Did
didn't talk about
all of
this.
those politicians go to the same school of acting?
Well,
this is all.
I think they all get their talking points delivered in their emails at 7 every morning.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's almost
I think that's a
true.
fact. It's a fact. Here's your talking point for today. And then they call AOC in. that does bring up a question. She makes $164,000 a year. How has she been in office a little over one term and have a net worth of almost $6 million?
Yeah, a lot of them.
That's true of a lot of the senators and Congress people.
I've been working for over 70 years, and I'm not worth that much.
Well, Howard, there is something that is wrong with the system where you pay more to get a job than that job pays you.
There is an expectation of something.
That's right. Somebody's going to get some money from somewhere, or they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
No,
none of those people would anyway.
No.
But what I sit there and I read over parts of Trump's speech. Mm-hmm. It was not coherent, in my opinion.
Well, he wrote it, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out what was his purpose. It seems that his purpose is to disrupt, disturb, and discourage.
Well, and one of the things that I've been more and more concerned about is we are in the process of losing our closest allies. You know, you're right, the tariffs on Mexico and Canada. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the thing. I remember Mr. Trump saying that we had huge imbalances with those two countries.
Yeah,
you know
Canada's,
how big they are?
Yeah.
$5 billion to Canada.
Right.
And just around $50 billion to Mexico. But that's chicken feed. Mm-hmm. To China, it's $294 billion a year. And that's just for the legal things.
Has he said anything about that yet?
Well, I haven't heard it. Maybe I just wasn't listening at the right time.
Well, I think Trump is using the electricity or energy approach, the path of least resistance. Canada, they're doing us in, though. They're charging us a 265% tariff on wood.
Right. That's what people don't understand is they're charging us a tariff already.
Mm-hmm. And it's between 200 and 300 and some odd percent on dairy products.
Yeah. That's what he wants to make level, make equal.
Right.
And I don't have a problem with that.
Right.
But
there are better ways to do it.
There are better ways to do it.
If you want to maintain your friendships.
If you want that milk.
Well, he's done the same thing with Europe. Today, I think he made a comment about we are going to annex Greenland, something to that effect.
That's stupid.
We're going to own Greenland. And I'm sorry, that just alienated the entirety of Europe.
Yeah. But if it gets really bad on the milk, I'll put some cows out, and I'll charge milking by the hour as much as you can milk in an hour's time. Because you ain't ever milked a cow before, you're not going to get much.
That's right. It's going to take you an hour.
As soon as I get my chicken coops filled up, I'll be selling eggs on the side of the road.
Yep.
Well, you'd be making a lot more money than Social Security if you did that.
Yeah.
But Trump, I can't put together in my mind what his plan is. And another thing I want to know is Russia hit Ukraine with some kind of crazy bomb that nobody's been able to figure out. They say they could destroy the world and nothing flat.
Mm-hmm.
But they already hit Ukraine.
They already hit Ukraine with it.
Well, it didn't work, did it?
Sarah Palin watched that from her porch.
Yeah. I don't know whether it didn't work or whether they didn't go full power or whether it's, a snow job.
Well, they've had
We don't have any snow.
We are not going to have any snow. Not this time, y'all.
I hope
maybe it wasn't a snow job then.
Yeah.
They are getting some snow a little further north of us, but
Really?
sadly
a
not
little
here.
snow.
Yes.
I have a feeling they're getting a lot of snow. Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys and girls and elephants. It's almost 4:25. I think it's a great moment to take a break. Remind people that they can call and complain at 256-737-9505. I don't see any more rain at the moment, so that was pretty short-lived. Unless it's so small I can't see it from here. if that's the case, I know a good eye doctor.
Go outside and see if you can feel it.
Yeah, well, I could do that too. It's 77 or 73 rather. I'd probably melt. It's so hot. I mean, it's been cold. Anyway, podcasts. If you like what you hear, if you only caught part of the show, you can find the entire show and most of the show. I think all of the shows, in fact, in podcast form. You can go to our website, live95coleman.com, and click on demand, and there's links to the podcast platforms there, or just go to your favorite podcast platform and search. You'll probably find it that way. We'll be back in a few minutes after we pay some bills here at Coleman's Live 95.
Guthrie's Auto Service has been providing quality automotive service since 1985. Located in Coleman on Eva Road, just north of 157, Guthrie's Auto Service is a AAA approved and Napa Auto Care Center, meaning their repair work is warranted up to 3 years or 36,000 miles, and because they're part of the Napa Auto Care Network, their work is also warranted at over 14,000 Napa Auto Care locations across the country. Terry Guthrie and his team are award-winning, collecting Napa's Auto Care Center of the Year for the Nashville Distribution Center and a People's Choice Award in 2020. More information is online at Guthrie'sAutoservice.net.
In 1952, 7 men at an aluminum plant banded together and started Lister Hill Credit Union with only $5 each. Today, more than 92,000 have joined us, continuing the legacy of supporting themselves and the community through Lister Hill. It's all about we and what we can do together.
And now for something a little different. We have a question from Facebook for the meteorologist.
Yay!
All right.
Take off.
Donna wants to know, will I be able to see the lunar eclipse tonight?
So, yes, actually, while it is partly cloudy right now, it is expected to clear up before the clouds return for these early morning storms that we're going to be getting early Friday into Saturday, starting at around 4 in the morning. But it should be clear just long enough to see the eclipse, and I'm personally hoping that I get to see it as well.
Oh, yeah, thanks for the reminder.
Now, do we have to have one of them little thingamajigs?
No, this is a moon eclipse.
I will say this, all right, so I ventured out and got an above-ground pool, I don't know, 2 or 3 summers ago. In the middle of COVID, I had to wait a year on it. But last year, we were floating in that pool on a clear, absolutely beautiful night, and wow. I mean, it was really awesome to watch the stars.
Okay, I wonder if you were going to finish that.
From a pool. Okay. Meanwhile, back to the show.
All right.
So we will be able to see the eclipse.
We should be able to.
And it's supposed to be what, like at 2 in the morning or here?
That sounds right. 1 to 2 in the morning.
Okay.
I won't see it.
I won't see it.
They'll have pretty
y'all
pictures
call
on
in
it
and tell us all about it.
Somebody will have some pretty pictures on in the morning.
You don't have to shut the blinds. That's awfully glary in here.
Yeah, I was sitting here like this, had my eyes dilated today, and I was trying to figure out what's going on.
All right.
Okay.
So we were talking about some of the effects of Trump's rulings lately. And just 8 minutes ago, the New York Times put out that a federal judge ordered the federal government to rehire thousands of employees dismissed from 6 agencies, saying that they were unjustified in their firing, and that, of course, some of them filed suit against the government. But what do you think? Can they do that if they're on probationary status? Isn't that what that means? That
it was when I got jobs. You know, you're on probationary status. We can fire you within a year's time for no reason at all. Right.
So it depends on the wording of the contract, really, because there's a contract they sign. Right?
But Alabama, you fire anybody anytime you want to with no penalty at all. But who was that? An Obama-appointed judge? Does it say?
It doesn't say in this article.
Well, and it's important to remember where your news is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because New York Times, right, that is very definitely one that's associated with the Democratic Party. And the New York Post, I think, is the one that's more or less associated with the Republicans.
At least they're middle of the road.
Yeah, middle of the road is slightly to the right.
Okay.
But I think the big problem they're going to have with that is that, for the most part, the Supreme Court's on Trump's side, and he's got a whole minion of attorneys that can fight any case that he wants followed.
But the problem is that all of that expense goes against who?
Well,
the American people.
Yeah, but the Department of Justice, they're paid a salary.
Yeah, well,
so was Hansel.
Are all of these? all of those attorneys going to be working at the Justice Department? Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, they do sometimes take in contract labor or subcontractor or specialists. That's special attorneys.
Oh yeah, they did that in Trump's case in New York, and they were and he met with Biden in the White House 3 or 4 times before the case started. So that was interesting.
One thing I read that it makes sense. I guess I just didn't think about it at the time. During the Biden administration, when it looked like the jobs numbers were falling, they created jobs in the government so that the numbers would not look as bad as they really were. And that's where a lot of these jobs and workers actually came from. So a lot of these jobs, supposedly, were created within the last 4 years. And that's why so many people were on probationary status, because they've only been hired in the last few years.
Well, that should be a no-brainer, in a legal network.
It should be, but...
Yeah, well, you've got attorneys, and they get paid by the hour, so no.
And you have judges that have been appointed by various presidents. Yeah.
That may be what it is. No-brainer.
Right.
Yeah, that's where it is. No-brainer.
I agree that there's a lot of mess, a lot of government waste.
Oh, yeah.
In that... they said those research labs and things that we were sponsoring for shrimp on treadmills and iguanas in something, and sending Sesame Street to Iraq, and
the upgrade of viruses in China at the Wuhan lab. That was funded by the U.S. government.
All these things that have been funded by the U.S. over the past. Not just 4 years, it's been several years, but at some point they've got to be cut. I think this axe came down pretty quickly.
And that did that on purpose, I'm sure, just to get it cleared out.
Right.
But here's the thing, what's going to happen if all of these people, not just those, but all of the people that they want to get rid of, they get rid of in the next month? What's that going to do to unemployment? What's the percentage of the employment of the employable people that work for the government? I haven't looked it up.
No, that's a good question.
If you know, call us, 256-737-9505. If you don't know, call us anyway. We'll make up a question.
Well, the next one, I guess, will be the shutdown that may or may not happen on Friday and put everything in a tailspin.
It's not going to happen.
No.
Not going to happen. We have gone through the same scenario over and over and over ad nauseum.
Yep.
Because if the shutdown goes, they not going to get paid either.
Right.
Oh, didn't they get a pay raise?
Probably.
If they had a meeting and voted, they did.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer to get.
Yeah. These people going in making, like I said, $100,000 a year, and now they're worth millions.
I can't find that investment place.
No, where you call it insider trading or whatever you call it. That's just
part of it.
Oh, it's a big part of it.
Definitely part of it.
Well, so I did miss the memo a little bit. So I know it passed one house and got to the Senate, but then they're holding it up with a filibuster. How long does that last?
Until they can get 60 votes.
Yeah.
I think in that it's 60 votes.
Need 60.
Or 2.
So they can filibuster for a month if they wanted to.
Well, they're saying they'll have a stopgap, which to me is a new word. I just like that word. It's the stopgap means that they can say, yes, we'll continue for another month or whatever number of days. They say 30 days. So that will keep the government from shutting down, but it won't solve any problem.
Still won't have a budget.
No, we still won't have a budget. We'll still have...
And what we're going to have then is all of these amendments and all of that stuff.
That's where it gets, okay, I'll vote for this, but I'm going to stick this amendment.
You got to have your pork.
I don't think you ought to be able to put amendments to anything after it comes out of committee.
Right.
That's not going.
You're not going to get that, I guarantee you.
No.
That's.
I thought it was funny that one of the top Democrat senators held a private lunch to discuss this with his colleagues.
What a guy!
Really?
Wow. Really, yeah. I bet he didn't pay for it. I bet you and I paid for it.
That's exactly right.
One way or the other.
Yep.
I think I'm going to start something. I'm going to start an investment school, and I'm going to get Nancy Pelosi to come teach it because, doggone, I tell you, she knows the ins and outs of getting money invested.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Here's the thing. I don't know if anybody else is aware of this, but there are actually funds that you can buy that track the holdings of the different parties.
Oh, really?
Congressional people, and the NANC is the symbol for one of them for the Democrats.
So I can know where they're going to do their investing, and I can invest in the same
That's
thing?
it, because I almost guarantee you'll do better than just
you and I are doing it.
Yeah, with lots of effort.
Well, I know that some of the car manufacturers met with Trump and asked him to delay some of his tariffs for at least 30 days so they can get their act together. And,
Yeah, well, that ain't going to happen.
I know. We bailed them out already. But I think it was John Deere that the government said if they moved their operation to Mexico, they would put a 200% tariff on them immediately.
Well, I think
those grain tractors will be disappearing, won't they?
Well, they won't be grain anymore. Yeah, I don't know. That's one of those things. Yeah, I am a patriot in a lot of ways, and that's one of them. I don't think we should be purposely moving manufacturing jobs to other countries.
I totally agree.
Yeah. But there are some companies that are coming back to the U.S.
Yeah, Honda.
Yeah.
Moving all of their manufacturing things from Mexico back into the United States. They said, we can't lose that amount of business.
Right.
Well, and if the way we're going, between Mr. Trump and the Canadians, we're going to have tariffs in the hundreds of thousands of %.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or there's going to have to be a compromise on both parts.
Right.
I mean, they're going to have to.
Yeah.
And Canada's going to have to say the most we'll charge on the tariff is, 150%?
That's what they've got to work out.
And then Trump's got to say, okay, the most we'll charge is 150% on comparable items.
Right. But I don't think people understood that Canada and Mexico both charge the U.S. a tariff already.
Yeah.
Well, most every country does, from what I understand. And we're just kind of giving it back to them.
And that's the thing. I really think Mr. Trump is trying to address one of the long-term ills of our economy.
And for those of you that don't understand the tariff, Mexico.
Why don't you give us a short description of it?
Mexico has this item that they bring to the border. It costs them $1 to make. They sell it in Mexico for $1.50. When it gets across the border in the United States, Mexico has added another $1.50 tariff on it. So the item in Mexico that's $1.50 is in the United States for $3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you're going to pay the tariff.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want milk and we run short of milk, we get milk from Canada, and that milk is more expensive. Now, the grocery stores, they're really careful not to do anything funny there. So they put this is Canada milk and this is United States milk. Canada milk is $3 and United States milk's $1.50. No, they don't. They raise the price on all milk to $3.
Right.
The grocery store is going, yay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So now if we can work that out, we're on comparable items.
Well, but right now eggs are $7 a dozen, more or less. I don't think quite as many eggs are being sold as
and I heard
99 cents.
I also heard that the chickens were upset that they were not getting their cut of that, and they were cutting the size of the eggs down. I don't know how true that is.
I certainly don't know either, Howard. I think that's part of your imagination. But Hey, that's just...
The other one I had this morning did seem a little smaller.
Yeah. Well, the tariffs have hurt the stock market, too.
Oh, has anybody been keeping up with that disaster?
Yep.
Can you spell crash?
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, here's the thing. Senor Buffett has liquidated over $300 billion of stock holdings over the last year and a half.
Wow.
You know, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Got 300 and something billion. It's actually more than China gets us for every year with our
That's more than the
imports.
economy of a lot of small countries.
Yep. Well, that's for a company, though, not just for him.
Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of interesting because I've been listening for over a year about, well, he's sold, 50 billion more of this. And
I'm thinking, I can't think like that, Richard. I can't get there.
Well, why is he doing that? Because he says, I'm looking for a business I can buy. There aren't many that are at a good price. There will be soon.
Yeah, maybe so. We better start saving our silver and coins.
Oh, that's another thing that's going up, silver and gold.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And gold was up almost $50 an ounce today. Silver was up $2.39 or something like that.
Yeah.
Or by the end of the day, it was only up like $1.
I'll be digging stuff out of my teeth.
Or somebody else will be.
Hey, maybe we need to check all the funeral homes around now.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, they buy scrap gold. They will buy the caps, the
really?
crowns. Oh, yeah, the gold crowns. Actually, they are not even 14 karat gold. Most of them, they used to say they were 18 karat, but they're not. They're 16 karat.
Hey.
So that's pretty close to 3/4 of the weight is gold.
Should have sold my old crowns instead of letting the dentist throw them away.
Yes, you should have.
So what's the weather doing right now?
Right now, it is about 73 degrees, and it is partly cloudy. As mentioned before, we have had a little bit of rain sprinkling outside. I can't see if that is still happening. To my knowledge, no reports of hail this far up. Mainly, that has stayed to the south of us. And temperatures overnight are going to decrease to 59 degrees. Walking out the door tomorrow should be maybe a little cool, but comfortable.
Is that another cold front moving in? Is that what causes that? Or
there is another cold front moving in, which is actually one of the lifting mechanisms that is
that's what I thought.
Working with our severe weather to enhance our severe weather.
That's one reason why they're saying it probably is going to be a rough day Saturday.
So for us old country folks, the warm weather and the cold weather getting together and fighting like heck.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, sort of like that. And when that happens,
simple guy
and all your joints hurt.
Yeah, they do.
Oh yeah, they do. I was wondering about that, but my neck and back and thumbs and that's all.
That's all coming in.
Now is that 90% true, or can you put a percentage on it?
On what's happening right now? Yeah. Well, that's measured.
Okay.
So I would
idea what that means.
That means it's what? You tell him.
Oh.
Measured.
It measured? As in that's a reading from a station.
Oh, okay.
So it's actual.
That's
it's
like
an
water.
actual report.
It's like water in a bucket.
Right,
that's a gallon of water.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Stick around. We'll want a final report.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely about Friday night into Saturday.
Yes.
But we don't have to do that now. I don't think I want to know just yet.
You don't want your weekend messed up.
It will be, but that's time enough for that.
So are we headed into a recession, gentlemen?
Yes. I don't think there's any other way that it can go. You can put so much air in a balloon, and at some point it's going to pop.
Right.
Any way to avoid it, or what can we do about it?
Common sense, get the Federal Reserve closed down and shipped to another world.
What about interest rates?
Well,
bringing those down, will that help?
No, it'd probably make it worse.
Because they'll loan more money that doesn't exist. You got to think to projects that aren't fully funded.
I would suggest everyone go out and find or maybe print it off the Facebook or some other part of the internet. There's a little book out there, if you can find it, known as The Invisible Hand.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds...
getting deep in
that sounds like a Sherlock Holmes story.
And it was written by Adam Smith. He was probably, in my opinion, the greatest economist that ever lived.
He was quite a dude.
And all of this is dependent upon equilibrium. Richard is a buyer. I'm a seller. We find a price at which everything I sell, he will buy. Mm-hmm. And everything he will buy, I will make to sell. Mm-hmm. You've got an equilibrium there to go on forever, but then Richard gets a little bit greedy.
Mm-hmm.
Not me.
Okay, I get greedy.
Yeah.
And I raise the price a little bit because I want more money. Mm-hmm. Well, Richard's got to do something. He doesn't want to lose money, so he's going out and he's raising the price to his suppliers and all of that. Mm-hmm. And the suppliers raise the price to everyone else. So I see that his laborers are getting more money. Mm-hmm. They got more money to spend. So I increase the price of what I'm selling to Richard, which he again increases the price to what he's charging. That's the reason I say a raise in the minimum wage will cost the person getting that more than they will make on the amount that they got the increase on.
That's true.
But people are so short-sighted, they can't see that.
They're short-sighted, they just don't understand economics.
That's true.
Well, let's say that Richard has 4 or 5 rental houses, and he used to charge
I wish I did.
$700 a month for it, but then he saw all of his neighbors going up to $1,000 a month. Well, is he just going to arbitrarily go to $1,000 a month, or does he need to justify his rent increase?
No, he'd probably go to 12 because he'll see that they're all been rented they couldn't go on that for, and he thinks they didn't take full advantage of the marketplace.
Supply and demand.
Wow.
Yeah, supply and demand, that's it.
Unless the government steps in and says, you can't raise the price.
Well, this isn't New York City.
Which they've done.
Then burn them and take the insurance.
No, because then the police will come out and arrest you for fraud.
The really rich guy at the end of the road has his house at $1,400 a month, but it's not renting. Well, that might give you an indication of where the market might be.
Yeah, but if it sits there for 6 months with no rent and he gets his $1,400 in 6 or 7 months, it's got it back and on a smooth road forward.
Well, that's true.
And that means that people will go out and look for more money, more jobs.
Yeah. And believe it or not, during times of depression, there's more crime than there is in otherwise.
Oh, yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
Well, you could say the same thing about the housing market. You know, how long is a house on the market until it sells, and you know what's the average price currently? And I've noticed, at least in my opinion, and this does not jive with what some of the local real estate folks are saying, but I think houses are staying on the market a little longer.
I think they are.
Well, they are, but that's there are different influences that act on the price of things like houses. And here's a good example. They are not building houses fast enough to take care of the increased demand.
So the ones on there are being charged more.
Well, isn't that the way it works?
Absolutely.
When you have greater demand, the supply will increase to fill it, but it doesn't mean there's no price associated with that or cost.
Yeah, there definitely is.
But come on, everybody tells me interest rates are directly responsible for that. So, I mean, isn't the interest rate the reason nothing's selling?
Yes,
it could be. It could be one reason why people aren't buying. Fear about their job or fear that we're going into a recession and would cause people to hesitate for that.
The other thing that's going, people remember what happened the last time they made liability loans.
Oh, yeah. If you don't have at least 20% down on a house, I don't think you're going to get...
Very few people are going to touch it.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, if you need that washing machine, but you can hang on to it just a little bit longer. I think that's what people are doing right now.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I told my
Same
wife,
with their cars.
Yeah.
my wife, don't worry about it. I'll put you up a pole in the back and hang those things over it to them. There's a creek down there, darling. Walk on down there and get you some soap.
Yeah.
Oh, then you're polluting. You can't do that, Howard.
But, I mean, that's different now than 3 or 4 years ago where if you wanted a washing machine, you couldn't get it.
Right.
Yeah.
That is true.
That's true.
And all of that is supply and demand.
Well, a lot of that was one of the ships going to arrive with what you want on them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
And that will probably be another area that's sees some effect for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Well, just jump on the Panama Canal. Should we get the Panama Canal back? Is it ours?
Care.
Well, see, there's another way that the current administration is trying to alienate the United States to our Latin American allies,
Right.
or potential allies.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have introduced what we affectionately refer to, and this is not a pun intended, to the clouds outside. This might be a lightning round where we're jumping through many topics in the last 10 minutes of the show.
Well,
Okay,
we sure
go.
are.
We have a meteorologist.
Good times.
Here. Yeah. What think ye?
Well, so this weekend is going to be pretty action-packed. Now, tomorrow on Friday, like I said, overnight low tomorrow of about 60 degrees. Then the weather is really going to pick back up again. 76 degrees for our high tomorrow, and it'll be partly cloudy during the day, so it should be a fairly nice day tomorrow. Wind picking up, a southerly wind, which is also going to be fueling that storm, bringing us a lot of moisture from the Gulf. And the winds are going to be picking up with gusts up to 25 miles per hour tomorrow night.
Well, are you seeing any lightning strikes on there?
I'm not seeing any lightning strikes, but with any severe weather, lightning is always a possibility that we should be aware of, for sure.
So I'm going to give this a really dark turn now. Just had a really crazy thought. Y'all brace yourselves for this?
Oh, yeah, go.
You know, we bet on everything nowadays. We bet on sports. We bet on presidential outcomes. I mean, are we having, betting on which cities are going to get hit and, how bad the damage is going to be? I wonder if they have betting markets for that.
Well, you'd have to call, what's one of those betting companies?
I mean, there's a lot of betting websites out there.
That's why I said, what's one of them, or 3 or 4? Anyway, yeah, I bet somebody's betting on it.
Probably so.
Oh, you know they are.
Yeah.
So just to add some additional info to all of this, and a meteorology friend can chime in if she knows more about this than I do, but there are analogs to these events. So they're comparing when the atmosphere looked like this to previous days, previous events. The Oak Grove tornado of 1998, when I was in Mobile, but I heard about it.
She wasn't born.
Gotcha. I had a roommate that was from
that tornado, though.
I had a roommate from Sylvan Springs back then, and their hometown got hit. Also, December of 2000, I think that was the very first time any of us saw the man on a bona fide tower cam. Nobody knew what a tower cam was back then. Mm-hmm. I remember where I was and whose house I was at, and we were all just shocked watching this huge tornado in Tuscaloosa. That was December of 2000. I think there may be one other date that popped up, but those are the two that I remember. So that could be a prediction of what we see Saturday. I hope not.
Oh,
but
no.
Could be.
I hope not. Like, I did see one station said it was a level 4 out of 5. So that doesn't sound good either.
Right, and that's one of the reasons why I really think we are in for some bad weather now. Whether it's
definitely
catastrophe or not, is still up in the air.
So gather up your chickens and get any eggs they've laid.
Yep.
Well, again, I tell you, it's all the damn Republicans. Can I say that on the radio? It's all the damn Republicans' fault. I mean, had they paid attention to global warming, none of this would have happened. We'd have nice sunny weather on Saturday. Never mind.
No, we wouldn't.
No.
It would be 30 degrees.
You sound delusional.
Hey, I'm going to throw a couple of things out there in the mix. We had a representative from the Link of Coleman County that was here. Well, tonight is their first ever after-hours food pickup. So the pantry at the link from 5:30 to 7 tonight, they're having the after-hours after-hours food pickup for the neighbors in need of food assistance who are not able to make it during their normal operating hours. So if you are one of those neighbors in need, you can visit the link between 5:30 and 7 tonight. And Home Street Home Ministries, Coleman chapter, is the one that's cooking up the meal with sloppy joes, baked beans, chips, and dessert.
Fantastic.
And after the picnic, don't forget the lunar eclipse.
Oh yeah, but don't stay up. Don't stay around partying between the pickup and
right.
I will add on a more serious note. That means I'm not making fun of Republicans anymore, although I was never serious about that to begin with. If you live in a mobile home or a manufactured housing, but pay attention to this weekend. We have posted a link on our Facebook page to where all of the area storm shelters are. Know where they are. Know that they are generally open when we are under a tornado watch, which means that the conditions are favorable for the formation of a tornado. One's not necessarily happened yet. That would be a warning. But generally when we're under a watch, which is about 4 to 6 hours before the event starts, generally those storm shelters are open for the general public. They each hold about 100 people. Sportsman's Lake, I think, holds 250. Garden City, I think, holds 250. There are some all over this county. They are listed again on our Live 95 Facebook page. But if you're especially in one of those manufactured housing or mobile homes, know where those are and be prepared to go there if you see activity headed this way.
Be weather wise, be weather alert, and keep gas in the car.
Yep.
That's right. I'm going to stop on the way home and get in line with everybody else.
Me too.
Final words.
Me too.
And speaking of the lunar eclipse, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
Oh, you and Tyson, what's his name? Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't forget to spay and neuter your pets.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's
Any other wise words?
good to see y'all again, both of you.
All of you.
All of us looking.
I'm glad one of them wrote
Hey, next week we will have a special guest from the Council on Aging talking about Coleman County and Coleman City and some of the resources that they offer our seniors.
Fantastic.
Cool.
You think they'll let us stay out?
Oh, we have who?
Beverly.
Richard.
Izzy.
And I'm Howard Rogers. Good to have you with us. We look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good weekend. Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Stay tuned. Path Changers with Sandy is coming up after the break.
Sandy.
Are you looking for a reliable ride at the lowest prices in town with financing? PNC Auto has you